This is One More Minute with McElroy. I'm Wes McElroy on Sports Radio 910 and sportsradio910.com. Needless to say, but I'll say it anyway, this has not been the most fun week I've ever had on Sports Talk Radio. I come to work, want to talk about games and rankings and having good fun arguments with you guys that at the end of the day don't really mean much. This week we've had to talk about child molestation, sexual assault, and a cover-up of grown men protecting a football program over children. I've grown up to respect Joe Paterno and like Joe Paterno. But Joe Paterno being fired this week was the right call by the Board of Trustees, and in my opinion, maybe took about 24 hours too long. There are people who have emailed me this week, and I applaud you guys, the listeners, and you ladies, the listeners, because this has now become not just the football topic or the college football topic. I applaud most of you. I would say for every 10 emails or 10 calls, they've been rational on a count of 9 out of 10. It's that 1% that worries me, the people that don't see the bigger picture. They don't see the cover-up. They don't see what Joe Paterno did and what he was doing wrong. Actually, in this case, what he didn't do. Remove Joe Paterno, the head football coach. What disappoints me is Joe Paterno, the dad, and Joe Paterno, the grandfather. I question a lot of actions this week by some emailers, by some callers. I also question them in the same way I question those people rioting on the Penn State campus. Some of those kids who are not dads and moms yet, not aunts or uncles. But did they ever stop to think if maybe their little brother or little sister was that 10-year-old boy who needed help on that Friday night in the locker room when a grad assistant ran away and called his dad? There's a lot of things wrong with the story at Penn State, but let's remember this. This was not about sports this week. It was about a college football program, but this was about helpless children. And this isn't a story that it just pops up in sports 1 week out of the year. This is a story that we in the sports world and sports talk radio, we don't have to tackle. This shouldn't fall into our plate, but it did. This happens all the time. And it fell into our plate and we needed to address it because there are helpless kids out there. There are helpless women. Abuse. And one of the biggest problems with people who are under abuse is they're sometimes too embarrassed to say, hey, I need help. Remember, this isn't about being preachy. This is about real life, and this stuff happens. And once in a while, we can't get out of our own bubble. This week, we had to get out of our own bubble and tackle a lot of strong issues. Once again, I applaud a lot of the listeners in the emails. I worry about some of you who did email, that you just don't see it. Maybe you need to grow up to see it. Maybe you just need a picture with, instead of a name of victim 1 or victim 2. How about, if you don't get it, how about you picture your child or your grandchild as victim 1 or victim 2? I think you'll quickly get it then. Looking forward to the football weekend, not just as a football weekend, but as a good distraction. Reminder, if you missed any interview this week, and there have been some good ones, including Kurt Menefee of Fox and our coverage of the Penn State fallout, go to sportsradio910.com, keyword podcast. It's actually right on the main page, right on the bottom. Click on any interview. And you can find me and follow me on Twitter at WesSR910. Have yourself a great weekend. This is One More Minute with McElroy. I'm Wes McElroy on Sports Radio 910 and sportsradio910.com.